Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
It's Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports. Well, happy primary day in some places. And by the way, if you haven't seen where your particular voting spot is for early voting, we're now 2 weeks away from the Illinois primary. So just make a plan there, just as a public service announcement. Realize that it is indeed that we basically, if you're like I am, all you're doing right now is going through your mail and finding all these expensively produced cardboard glossy flyers and realizing first you open your mailbox and you go, holy shit, we got a lot of mail. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, it's all of these things. My opponent said this. My opponent said this. This person's evil. This person's evil. They're all evil. Everyone, don't vote for the evil person. And then you throw them all out. And that you bring them inside just so you can throw them in the recycling. So that's if you, but still make plans for 2 weeks from today if you haven't already. Did you notice that it took a little while? And it's still taking time. But after all of the Bears Stadium, Indiana silliness was started, after Kevin Warren, the Pied Piper of Hamlin, found the willing people as he toodles away, and all of the little followers sort of marching in behind him. Where are we going now? Where are you leading us, Kevin? Where are we going? What should we do? And he said, oh, look at this. Look what's Indiana. Look at we're coming here, everyone. Tell everyone, tell the world that the Bears now are walking across the border to Indiana. Of course, it's all bullshit. But as he's doing this, and all the Indiana Pauls race for the cameras like moths, and they start to say, "Oh, this will be we're going to move quickly. We're going to bring everybody here." That there is a very small, I believe, but very vocal group of Hoosiers who are daring to ask questions like this: is this my money? Is my life going to get more expensive for something I don't really want and am never, ever going to use? Quiet, you. All of these questions, these kinds of questions like, I'm not a big football fan, and I don't really go to Bears games, and why are my groceries gonna be taxed more?
Yeah, it took a little longer than and not that it needed to for me to feel good, but at least I feel better about some people in Indiana now.
Yes.
That there are some people that don't want this to happen because it's going to make their life more expensive.
They said, wait a second here. And not only is it going to make it more expensive, it's for something called the Chicago Bears that will continue to be the Chicago Bears. And as maybe some people are actually getting around to reading the text of some of this stuff and the facts and the information part of it. That there are some people, a dwindling number, but there are some people who are actually gonna read and process the information that's in there. And people are saying, well, Chicago is still gonna reap all the benefits of this, and they're gonna stay in the hotels in Chicago and go to the restaurants in Chicago. And wait a second here. And wait, most of the money is gonna end up in the pockets of the McCaskies? Really? And we're ceding all this control over this that I'm going to build it for them? We know the story that the Bears are going to put $2 billion towards the stadium. The state of Indiana says they'll put $1 billion through taxing their residents in these various counties, a 1% food and beverage tax. And now finally, after a week and a half or longer, the actual residents whose money it's going to be are actually saying, wait.
Hold on a second here.
Hold on. Whoa, wait a second. We didn't sign up for this. And I think it's a vocal minority right now, but there are already 2 official groups that have been put together to try to ask some of these questions and at least ask for representation. There's Hoosiers for Responsible Taxation. that is just saying no blank checks for stadium deals, no hard-earned tax dollars for billionaires, and they added no attacks on Indiana freedoms. I don't know what that is. I don't know who in this is attacking your freedoms. Who doing that? Who attacking those freedoms? We can't have any of that. You must be completely free to do whatever you want, regardless of its effect on anyone else. Because that's what freedom is. But they do say that, wait, no hard-earned tax dollars for billionaires. It's an interesting case to be made in the rock-ribbed state of Indiana, the town of Rock Ridge.
Yeah, so they're looking
These
at a
are people
1%
of the
food
land.
and beverage tax, a 5% hotel tax, and then a 12% admissions tax. So ticketed events, special events going on,
All right,
will get taxed an additional 12%.
Let's start with a 1% food and beverage tax in Lake and Porter counties. Okay, that's over time, do that math. Over time, do the math per year of what that's going to add up as people look at their grocery bills, our grocery bills, our skyrocketing grocery bills.
Yeah, our grocery bills are more expensive now as it sits, and then you're going to add another additional tax to it to people. And I'm just assuming in this area you're looking at more, I don't know, blue collar type work. I don't think you're looking at, master's degrees and above. Well, I'm sure there are, but I would think this is more of a rural type, blue collar type work where even a small increase in what you're paying in taxes is not going to be is going to be felt in a very negative fashion.
And remember too that there are a lot of Chicagoans, you can call them, people who are from Chicago and work in Chicago, who moved to Indiana. And if you know any of these people, you know what they're constantly talking about, how low their taxes are. Well, why did you move out of Illinois? Well, I don't want my taxes going. All of because all the subtext of that about where your tax dollars are going, and we don't have to rehash all that, but you know where that all comes from in large part. And now we're saying, okay, well, here's the thing: things still cost money, and there's no free lunch. There's never a free lunch. If you want something, you're going to pay for it, and politicians don't want to spend their money. They're going to spend your money. They're going to spend your money to enrich billionaires. It's just taken some time for certain people in certain places to wake up to this. So a 1% food and beverage tax in the most populated counties of Lake and Porter, where there are a lot of people who live and work in Chicago and have families in Chicago who consider themselves Chicagoans who live in Lake and Porter counties. A 5% tax increase on hotel rooms in Lake County. And that is, anytime you see a hotel tax increase, people will say, well, that's paid for by outsiders. It's not paid for by residents. For the most part, it's probably true, with the exception of people that might be coming in for a game or coming in from elsewhere in the state, or just saying, hey, we're going to do a staycation. We're going to stay. We don't want to, by the time we pay for parking, et cetera, it's going to be worth it. Let's just get a hotel room and make a weekend of it, kind of thing. So there is some pain that is felt by locals. Now, the one that jumps out to me, and this is part of the other group that has been organized for it, and this is the admissions tax. And the other group is Americans for Prosperity in Indiana, which is a libertarian group. Americans for Prosperity. We have the two groups here that we've talked about. Hoosiers for Responsible Taxation, Americans for Prosperity in Indiana. They were initially neutral, and now their legislative director, according to the Tribune here, said the organization is officially against the measure. They have sent out a letter to state senators that says it exposes taxpayers to massive financial risk while delivering little public benefit. Interesting.
Right.
Someone looked something up. Decades of economic research show stadium subsidies fail to generate net growth. Someone's reading J.C. Bradbury's pieces, and somebody's actually looking at what has been studied about what actually happens. This proposal repeats the same mistakes, granting broad powers, open-ended liabilities, and special treatment for private sports franchises at a taxpayer expense. We welcome the Bears and private investment, but it should not be on the back of state and local taxpayers. Well, it's going to be. Now, I can't say this enough. The Bears are not going there.
Correct.
They're not.
No.
Because of all of the number of hurdles that would still remain to even getting a shovel in the ground in a toxic swamp. That's not going to happen. This was all an ill-conceived, ill-timed, thinly veiled bluff that was overplayed brutally by Kevin Warren. This was completely overcooked and didn't fool anybody. Well, it didn't. I mean, fooled some people.
Fooled some people. In that same article, too, they spoke with Chuck Pullen, radio personality there at WJOB. And he talks about the people in that area. A lot of blue-collar people in the area are struggling to get by. They're asking, where's our local and state government to help us, and why do the Bears get special treatment? Very fair questions. Very fair questions of why do billionaires get the benefit while people in our own state, our own people in Indiana, are struggling to get by, and yet we're going to tax them to make everyday living more expensive. You talked about that 12% admissions tax.
Yeah, I'm curious what an admissions tax is, because that's 12%'s a big number.
It is a big number, but that would go towards like ticketed events. Like, say for example, I looked up a list here of items in Lake County. The Lake County Fair, for example. And I mean, we're all familiar with local, we go to the Lake County Fair here in Illinois, and it's a fun event, and food trucks and bands and all kinds of activities for families. A ticket for that is probably around $8 to $10. So you're thinking, oh, well, that's not a whole lot. But again, there's more increase that everyday people have to pay for the Bears to benefit. Lake County Fair in Indiana, the Pierogi Fest, another event, Dan, that would be ticketed and would be increased ticket prices.
The Pierogi Fest and the county fair would be, the price is going to go up, and that money would be going to the Bears.
To the Bears. There's also the Festival of the Lakes, which is like a big music fest. This is an interesting one. The Gary Air Show. So I'm assuming it's like Gary, Indiana, and airplanes, or it's a guy named Gary who does things in the air. Like the
Gary has
Air
its
Show.
own airplanes?
I guess. So the Gary Air Show, very popular. The Cedar Lake Summerfest. There's certain events at the Buckley Homestead. Here's one, Dan, the Maple Syrup Time event, which talks about the process of tapping trees and making. Now, you're going to pay more money for that, people in Indiana, and that extra money will go towards the Bears. There's the Voyager Rendezvous. Oh, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, another ticketed event that the people in Indiana will pay more money for to help benefit the Bears. But the Pierogi Fest, I want to actually go to that. It's all about it's all a Polish fest on obviously savory and sweet pierogies, and then kielbasa and different sausages. It sounds like a fun event. I bet it is a good time.
The Gary Air Show is scheduled for August 22nd and 23rd, 2026. And
so it's like a regular air show, right? Not like a guy named Gary who does things in the air.
As far as I can tell, it's at Marquette Park. Aerial acts performing on the south shore of Lake Michigan. $40 per day of parking. So it's free to attend, but they make their money on the parking fees.
Okay.
So my guess is this is where they would get you.
Yep.
Because that's how they make their money. $60 for the weekend, $40 for the day. So if that goes up 12%, it's $4, a little, $4. And yeah. So that you might as well just send that out to the Bears right now.
Yeah. So that's what the 12% admission tax is. And again, the 5% hotel tax and then 1% food and beverage tax.
Well, they've made a name for themselves trying to lure people from Illinois with their low taxes. And then they can say, oh, wait, a billionaire wants money? Well, people's taxes are going to go up. It's amazing how long it takes for certain things to soak in. And it's that whole thing about The Simpsons did it first. I always think of the Simpsons episode when there's a bear. Remember that big grizzly bear in the middle of Springfield? And everybody's being terrorized by the bear. So they ask, people are saying, well, where is our government? Where are the people in charge? Get rid of the bear. Do your jobs, government. And they get like a helicopter or whatever they need to go get the bear and take the bear away. And then people notice when the tax bill comes out that there's a line item that says bear removal tax. And people say, like, what are you talking about? It's like the scene in Ghostbusters where Dan Aykroyd is walking out of the hotel ballroom with the Slimer, and he's like, well, we can just put him back.
Right.
It's like, things cost money.
They do.
Things cost money. And if it's a government, they're going to ask for more of your money because that's how it works.
Yes.
And wait, hold on a second here. You mean they didn't make this up out of whole cloth and throw it at the bear? The good news is it's all a bluff. That it's all smoke and mirrors, and it was only there because Kevin Warren ran out of leverage.
Yep.
So he
didn't really have much when he got here. So
no, he's never really had any, and he still doesn't. And they're trying to do this just by kind of asking Illinois to help him out a little bit. And Illinois said, okay. That there are things that can do both, that can benefit the taxpayers and benefit you. And why don't you see how much money you can kind of put into this? And maybe if you have a little more skin in the game, you'll be able to make a little more of it back.
Yeah, because Kevin Warren, he used any leverage he could find. All right, we're going to move to Indiana. And then he comes to find out that, George Hallis wanted to move the Bears to Arlington Heights back in 1975. Mm-hmm. Kevin Warren says, that would have been helpful information to know. You already purchased the land before I got here. This is great. Now what do I do?
Well, and I also laugh about the fact that I don't know if Kevin Warren knew that in 1995, Michael McCaskey tried to pull the same stupid stunt. Or on similar land. Don't you remember the Gary Planet Park boondoggle?
Yes.
And they had mock-ups and everything and cardboard models, and they brought it all out there. And I hope Kevin Warren knew that some of us actually remember that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was made aware of what took place.
All you need is a computer. All you need is your phone, and you can look it up, and you can look up the Gary Bears and everything that was going on in the midnight. Oh, this is real. Same thing. Oh, this is real.
It should have been really easy, Dan. It should have been the Bears purchased the land. All right, we need to find a guy who's going to help us build a stadium. Kevin Warren has experience. No one else wants him. We'll bring him in. Hey, Kevin, we bought the land. We want the stadium here. George wanted the stadium there, 40, 50 years ago. So go make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start the meetings. Let's start the process. Let's sit down and talk. How are we going to do this where we need to put up our own money, but we also need to have some kind of assurances on tax? Let's figure this out. Oh, no. We're going to stay in the city because this is a beautiful skyline and we want to keep it in the city. Oh, no, we're going to move to Indiana. Oh, no, Iowa's interested. Oh, we're going to float a stadium out in the middle of Lake Michigan. Dude, come on.
Like literally float.
Yes.
Not just float the idea.
No, literally float a stadium in Lake Michigan and have people go on boats and then sink and they'll die. So
on boats.
There you go.
The move to Arlington Heights in 75 that we talked about, that was MSG Corporation doing a feasibility study of a sports stadium near Arlington International Racecourse. The Bears had plans to build a publicly funded 80,000-seat stadium and sign a 35-year lease to use it. But city voters did not approve the funding. How about that? After they planned to move the White Sox to the village as well, and that fell through. Now, in 1990, Michael McCaskey said the Bears have not ruled out the Arlington Heights project. That was in 1990.
Yeah.
Think about that. And that was before all of the silliness about Planet Park.
Right. I mean, this has been in the works for 49 years.
Mm-hmm. And now
at that time,
in
75, Richard M. Daley who was senior? Was he Richard M? Richard J was
junior.
Yeah. So he told Hallis said, hey, if you're moving the team all the way to Arlington Heights, guess what? You're not taking the name Chicago Bears with you. That's not happening. You're not going to be the Chicago Bears in Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it made for a fun story, though.
Yeah, I didn't know he owned the name.
He's not taking Chicago with him. Not if he moves all the way there to Arlington Heights.
No, you can't do it. And that's because it was, remember, Arlington Heights was back then, it was all cornfields. Like there wasn't anything.
Nothing.
There wasn't anything
to it.
there.
Right.
There was not anything there. And it was also in 1990 when Michael McCaskey said that they still could build in Waukegan. He was keeping absolutely everything open for the longest period of time. And it kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. So it was the Northwest Indiana Chicagoland Entertainment Company that proposed a $205 million 75,000 seat open air stadium as part of a $500 million redevelopment project west of the Gary Regional Airport called Planet Park. And the moment they rolled that thing out, it was dead. It was hilarious. Trust me, I was standing there. It was one of the first stories I covered there on Washington Street, and they walked in, ladies and gentlemen, Planet Park, and they carried on a board a cardboard and Q-tip mock-up.
Oh boy! And
set it down on a table.
You were on Washington Street?
Yeah, I was there at Old Hallis Hall.
And then Ditka walked out and punched you in the face.
We were talking to Rashawn Salam about his holdout that he didn't really even know was going on. It was a very strange, and Brad Palmer. Hey, Rashawn, what do you mean? Your agent works for you. Why don't you talk to your agent? And Rashawn's like, I don't know anything about that. I just know that my agent. And he's like, oh, come on, Rashawn, what are we talking about here? It was different times. And then they set the thing down, and they said, this is the Bears' next home. And everybody looked up like, no, it isn't. It was so bad.
Move along now. Keep that going. Thank you.
It was so bad.
All right, back to business.
Like that? No, it's not. Go away now. Yeah, can we go back and talk to the Bears? Because this thing's dead. But yeah, this is just sort of the same thing, except way more expensive. And it's as silly, but in its own way. I don't know. I'm entertained by the fact that Indiana's waking up to the fact that it's going to that were this to happen, that somehow, well, I've added this all up, and you know what has to happen, Maddie? The money's got to come from somewhere. See how that works? See how that works? And my grocery bill, which already is pretty insane, is going to go up even more for the Chicago fucking Bears.
Yeah, and then you go out to a restaurant and you're going to pay more money so the Bears can build their stadium. Yeah, so I knew there had to be opposition to this, and I figured it would come out sooner or later. There would be at least a dozen people that would think this is a bad idea in the state of Indiana. So
I don't know how many people. It could be 3 guys. It could be like the group of people that were remember the group of Cuban expats that got Ozzie Guillen fired. It was like the same 12 people every time they turned the camera on.
But even if it's 12 people,
drum.
Yeah, that's great. At least there's 12 people that have a brain and think this is a bad idea for us.
And can actually say, hey, Hoosiers, listen up, that this costs money. Your money is how this works. And you don't get anything from it. You don't benefit at all from it. You just pay for it. All right. Well, good on you. Who these two lovely organizations. I don't really think a lot of this is going to be needed at this point. And sometimes when you start seeing sketchy organizations, you wonder if they're just sort of straw groups that have been propped up by opponents, because that happens all the time too. But no, there's quotes here from actual people who are actually asking questions about, does this help us in any way? Does this help the taxpayer? And the answer is no, it doesn't. And that's okay. We are already getting into some of the March Madness silly season with teams trying to pitch themselves as more worthy than others. And there are some that will just have no criticism whatsoever directed at them. And you want somebody to come riding to the rescue of the poor Miami of Ohio RedHawks.
This is great, dude.
My goodness. I when I saw the headline, I'm thinking, what happened? What slander was directed at Miami of Ohio? What could possibly have been said to cause this level of a ruffling of feathers? How dare you, sir, say this about us? David Sayler, the Miami AD, has called out Bruce Pearl.
Wait, Bruce, he's coaching a team, another team now, right? He's the head coach of a team? What's Bruce Pearl doing?
He was.
Right,
I think.
But what's his job right now?
I think he's a TV commentator who is employed to have opinions about college basketball.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm glad you asked that, though.
Yeah,
because
that's important to know. Yeah.
I think it is important to know that Bruce Pearl, who is an analyst for CBS and TNT,
wait, is he a college basketball analyst?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so
that.
he works in college. Okay. All right, so he's not like an NFL or NBA, and he is a college basketball analyst on TV.
Correct.
To talk about college basketball.
And to have strong opinions about college basketball.
Okay, all right. Now I got all the background. Good, thank you.
Okay, is that anything else you need? I can answer any other sort of expository questions here, background that you may need.
Job, college.
Yep, he sits.
But he's not familiar with the college basketball game though himself, right? Because was he
very
involved?
Familiar.
Was he involved in college basketball previously?
He was. He was the 2025 AP Coach of the Year. He's been to a couple Final Fours.
In
SEC
college basketball.
Coach of the Year. Yes, actually in college basketball. That's what gives him the authority and gravitas to have these opinions.
Okay, so has the background, previously coached, works in TV in college basketball right now.
Correct.
Okay, got it. I'm good now. Thank you.
So,
sorry.
Here's what he said. Miami, here's the deal. Are we selecting the 68 most deserving teams, or are we going to select the 68 best teams? If we're selecting the 68 best teams, then Miami's going to have to win their tournament to qualify as a champion. As an at-large, they are not one of the best teams in the country, and that's going to be a difficult choice for the committee to make. Okay.
What else did he say? Did he talk badly about parents, about the kids themselves?
No.
Did he shit all over the university itself? Did he? What did he say? When does it get bad?
That's all I have that he said.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
But it brought back sweeping condemnation and high dudgeon from Sayler. So David Sayler, hey there, Sayler, took to social media.
Oh, okay.
And
now we're cooking.
He wrote directly, and he tagged Bruce Pearl and said, "You are flat out wrong about Miami when you say we would finish last in the Big East. The disrespect is awful. You should not be near a TV studio covering this sport when you show your true colors. Even slipped in a we when talking about Auburn. Nice work." Okay, and then later, Sayler was on the radio on ESPN, and he said, since 1985, only 5 teams have finished the season undefeated. That's over 12,000 teams that had the chance to do just that, and only 5 have done it. If we get to that level of status, I just don't understand how somebody can make the comments he's making and not put respect on what our student athletes are doing. This goes on. So settle in. And so I didn't go into work today thinking I was going to put something out like I did. What really pushed me over the top was trying to say that we would finish last in the Big East or towards the bottom. And then when he used the word we in describing Auburn, just the media bias and the stumping for something that is inappropriate, especially at the expense of our young men who've worked their tails off to be in a really historic place. I think they deserve more respect. Okay. A couple things here, Sayler. And I am no fan of Bruce Pearl.
Correct.
Generally.
It would never have been. Yes. This is not about defending Bruce Pearl.
No, and boy, I mean, you know me. I go back. Terry and was covering. He was covering Illinois during all of the famous Bruce Pearl skullduggery, all of the stuff with Jimmy Collins and the secretly recording, recruiting pitches and phone calls illegally. And
Terry hated Bruce Pearl. Like, if Terry was on fire, he wouldn't let Bruce Pearl put him out.
He wouldn't let Mitch Albom cross the street to let Bruce Pearl put him out.
That's right.
If somebody was on fire.
One of the best lines ever.
Yes. We're not sure who's on fire. We're not sure who's putting somebody out. But either way, he's got righteous anger about it.
And whoever it is, we're going to bury Johnny Redker's kids with him, too.
And Skip Perry. All of them. They're all dead. They all fell asleep and died in someone else's sleep. They're all getting buried and they're all on fire. So you could just, if you think we're going to show any mercy in that regard, you disabuse yourself of that silly notion. So wait, there's more here. I'm not done.
Yes.
First of all, the word inappropriate. Inappropriate? Really? To have a thought about college basketball? Let's just, no. It's not. It is perfectly appropriate. And this idea of media bias, that's his job. He's an analyst. His job is to have strong opinions that might be, gasp, divisive. That might have somebody saying, that guy's wrong. That man's nuts. Grab him.
Yar.
Yar. So he's doing his job, and he has an opinion that Miami of Ohio, even with their gaudy perfect record, isn't particularly good compared to some of these other teams that are better. I don't even know, and I want this really clear. I don't care. I don't have a strong thought. I haven't seen Miami of Ohio play. It's a terrific school.
I watched one game, and it was when they played Ohio, when I had that bet for the state of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Throw out all the record books when they won 90-74. Outside of that, I don't even know some of these teams that they played.
They're a
like, I'm not
team.
familiar with Mercyhurst.
Mercyhurst.
Yeah, I don't know Mercyhurst.
Well,
and then there's like one school on here that you can't even highlight it and expand it on ESPN.
Who?
It's abbreviated MILLI. Is that a Milliken?
Milliken? They didn't play Milliken. Did they?
I don't know who it is, but I'm looking at their schedule and it says MILLI, but
Milli
it's not
Vanilli.
highlighted where
they played Milli Vanilli.
Where I can expand it. Yeah, so
it might be Milliken. Milliken, another good school, but not known as a basketball powerhouse. But I understand protecting your kids. I do. And
for sure.
I understand being
Absolutely.
seen. It's been a really exciting year, but inappropriate for a network college basketball analyst to have an opinion.
Yeah, well, it's fair criticism too. It wasn't like he went over the line of any measure at all. You know, if you want to go to Twitter, which was probably a bad idea, as the AD, you just say, hey, I can appreciate Bruce Pearl's opinion. You know, he comes from a great resume of coaching. But I'm really proud of what our team has done this year, and I think our record speaks for itself. You leave it there.
That's all.
Right.
Because once you go here, I mean, and then he goes, the bubble is a fascinating thing because it seems like some teams never go off of it. Some of these teams are on the bubble and they lose games to unranked teams and they don't move. They still sit there. And for a team like ours, we lose one game and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, they don't belong. We've been ranked for a month now. We're up to 19th in the country. It's the highest we've been ranked since 1953. This should be celebrated. This is about the magic of March Madness. This is about the heart and soul of college basketball. And I just feel that some of these people are trying to ruin it and they just want ranked teams versus ranked teams. Power 4 teams, and I'm not here for it. It should just be celebrated and have fun with it. Let's roll with this.
Then celebrate it.
Yes, it's March. I'm dealing with hearing these kinds of things, and I just don't think it's fair to the MAC and fair to anybody else who competes at the mid-major level. I walked down to Travis Steele's office 3 different times after watching coaches give press conferences saying they wouldn't get anybody to play them, and we called them within an hour, and we're told, yeah, we're not talking about you. We don't want to play you guys, because it's turned into not just are you going to win or lose the game, it matters how close the game is now. The metrics have gotten so detailed that if you come out and light them up and score a bunch of points and they barely win, that's not even good enough for the Power 4 schools anymore. So sometimes these coaches have egos. They have different situations. They just don't want to find the games. I know for a fact Travis tried multiple times with multiple people trying to put this thing together, and nobody wanted a part of the RedHawks. We won 25 games last year, a program record. That's what Travis accomplished. This isn't some cute, fluky story this year about Miami basketball. Travis is doing it amazingly well. People don't want to play us. It's the truth. Okay, then why shouldn't they win their tournament?
Right, then win your tournament. And looking at the bracketology on ESPN, they have Miami of Ohio as an 11 seed playing Kentucky.
Okay.
And so, yeah, go ahead, beat Kentucky, and then they get to play the privilege of playing Kansas and losing by 20. So there you go.
And right now, you've got nothing's been decided yet. There's a lot of games that have yet to be played. They might indeed make the tournament, but are we really going to the mat like this? And if stuff like this is this important to you, go be an AD at a big school. I mean, congratulations. And I love the idea of an undefeated team, and maybe you'll run roughshod through everybody and win. And if you win the tournament, and it makes it sound like when you read the resume like that, how could it even be remotely possible if none of these Big Four teams want to play you? How could you lose a tournament game?
It's a fair question.
If all of these teams in the Power Four conference are like, oh, no, we can't touch you. You're too dangerous. Then there's no reason why you should lose in the conference tournament.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I just think the whole, getting back to the bare minimum of it all. Bruce Pearl has been involved in college basketball for so long, has found so much success there as well. His current job is to be a TV analyst, to have opinions and thoughts.
That's all.
And his opinion and thought on your program wasn't all that egregious. And it was, you could look at it in some of the metrics. Yeah, I think there's a lot that they look at maybe too much, but it was kind of fair criticism. So go out, win your tournament. What, they're in the MAC, right? MAC?
Yeah.
Yeah, go win your tournament. Then you shouldn't have an issue.
I would be interested.
And then you'll get in. And if you're a 10 seed, an 11 seed, a 12 seed, then go win that first game and see what happens.
I'm wondering if David Sayler isn't maybe feeling like he has to burnish his credentials with the coach. Has there been, hey, nobody's going to bat for us here? Do you think there was some sort of closed door issue where the coach is like, yeah, why don't you go public and push us a little bit? These other schools have massive PR campaigns and people doing the work for them and trying to drum up public support. And maybe he's doing this because coach is pushing him out there and saying, go take a stand. If you're calling a radio station, when you think about the actual sort of PR plan here,
yeah,
you don't tweet that. You don't then go on a radio show and say, well, boy, I don't know what got into me there. I guess I finally boiled over. I don't believe any of that. This is clearly a part of a plan that they thought through. They said, you're going to put this out there. Go ahead, be mad publicly, and then you can back it up. Go again, and some podcast out of Chicago will spend time talking about it.
Yeah, but I don't get it, because let the season speak for itself. You've had a really great year, something historic for college basketball. That should be enough. And to get bothered and bogged down by what a college basketball analyst has to say, you should be above that. So and I'll tell you what. Here's what it's done too. It's drawn eyes on them, and if that's what they wanted, but they're not going to get the support that they're looking for out of this. I think if anything, it's more negative. I think people are going to want them to lose in the tournament.
And maybe he wants that, and maybe he just wants to bring that on him.
Maybe.
There's got to be a calculation here. They're a well-respected university with a lot of money behind whatever public relations stunts they want to pull.
Oh, I think their next move, Dan, is you need to get Ben Roethlisberger out there to speak for you.
I'm going to go with Wally Zerbiak.
No, you need to get Big Ben here. Big Ben has things to say about our program.
You know who else could be out there?
Who?
Adam Eaton.
Oh, wow. Or his kid?
Wasn't Adam Eaton Miami of Ohio?
Was he? I don't have to look.
Yeah, just to check that, because I think it would be awesome if you have Big Ben, Adam Eaton, and then Adam Eaton could get Drake LaRoche to come help out.
Oh, that's who it was. Yeah, it was LaRoche's kid.
It was Drake LaRoche's kid. We lost a leader in Drake.
That was unbelievable, man.
14-year-old child in the locker room. We lost a leader. I can't believe that happened. And the only reason he was out of there is because Jimmy Rollins had come to the team as a free agent and asked Kenny Williams, like, what's going on with this kid?
Yeah.
Why do you have somebody's kid in here? What the hell is going on?
Adam Eaton. Yep. Miami, Ohio.
So here's you've got Spanky Eaton, and then you've got Gray Dick Roethlisberger, and then here we go. Listen to what these guys have to say. Come on, man.
That was something, man.
All right, well, go ahead and win your conference tournament, or maybe they end up with an at-large. Here's the other thing too: the committee wants stuff like this. If anything, they know what they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
They would love that. How when you start thinking about it, you think the committee would love to have either people love or hate Miami of Ohio, and however they get in the last day, they can bring the CBS camera out there and they show them all going crazy when they're the 11th seed, and they get all the eyes on them, and it becomes a bigger thing. And I don't know, they probably have some hot shooting little white guy that everybody will fall in love with. I don't even know who's on their team. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, no, I just think even if they don't win their tournament, I think they, if they finish with one loss in the season, they should get in even without winning the tournament. If you finish 30-1 or 32-1, whatever they'll end up at, you deserve to get in, and you might not be as high as an 11 seed. You might even have to do like a play-in game, but just go out and win your games then. If you're that good, then go out and win your game and see what happens with it all.
Simple.
But to act like Bruce Pearl doesn't deserve to run a basketball team, to have these kind of thoughts about our program. Yeah, he can have thoughts, and they might be good, they might be bad, but that's his job. His job is to have a thought on college basketball.
That's it.
He doesn't think your team would do that good in the Big East. He didn't say you would go winless. He just said you're not gonna do well in the Big East. That's his opinion.
He also didn't say you're bad.
Right. He just said you wouldn't do that good in the Big East.
He also said that it's not like he's saying that their wins should be vacated.
Right. You're a shit program. You don't deserve to play basketball in this country.
Come on.
Just relax, man. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I hope it's not calculated and deliberate. I don't want it to be. I like it that it's more pure in the moment. I boiled over and lost my mind because Bruce Pearl had bad things to say about my program.
I'm just too consumed with Red Hawk pride. My Red Hawk pride came bursting out of me. Oh no!
Again, you should get Ben Roethlisberger out there in front of cameras to represent your program. I can't control
myself. I'm so bursting with Red Hawk pride, and we got to be careful around here too, because our general sales manager is really into his Red Hawks. He's been.
Oh, is he a Miami of Ohio guy?
Yeah, he's paying a tuition there.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I think
is he just walking around the hallways angry and just boiling over what Bruce Pearl had to say?
Oh yeah, kicking over chairs and
flushing people left and right,
flushing all the urinals in the bathroom so he doesn't have to hear people talking about it. Oh no, wait, that's Murph. I forgot. Hey, you know what I've figured out that's really good. And even though we don't have one of my favorite Southern restaurants here in the North where I would crave my steak and eggs, and because there's a certain kind of flavor and ambiance, and I do it in my own home, and I create the best steak and eggs I possibly can because I absolutely love steak and eggs, and the Omaha steaks that I have in my freezer are ideal for it. And if you think regular steak and eggs is good, try Omaha Steaks filet mignon and eggs, because I have, and I've made it a thing now that I look forward to it for days, and I sort of, and you know me, I like fetishize it and I plan it, and oh man, I do potatoes. I bake like home fries with the skin on potatoes and onions, and I cook those down, and then I do what I would do at Waffle House, where I would put, I take the runny egg yolks from 3 sunny side up eggs, and I set those on top of the hash browns, and then as I eat the steak with covered in steak sauce, sometimes not as much, because the Omaha steaks are really good, and I dip it in the broken yolks. And then the rest of the runny yolk just kind of runs down into the hash browns. But I get that little piece of meat that has just got the runny, rich yolk dripping off of it. That's living, man. And you talk about protein. Ha ha! I laugh at your protein powders and all of your added protein things, or it's like cereal's got extra whey protein in it. Yeah, you know what I'd rather have? I'd rather have a juicy steak covered in drippy egg yolk and have the steak juice dribbling down my chin. But that's just me. And you can have it too, because Omaha Steaks will deliver you the best everyday protein. And right now, during the semi-annual sale, you can get 50% off. That means all the stuff you like to eat on hand. Exceptional Omaha Steaks options, whatever you like to eat. And burgers, chicken, pork, seafood. Easy to prepare comfort food. And what I mean there, it's like meat lovers lasagna, beef shepherd's pie, fully cooked beef pot roast. If it's convenience you want, you can get your protein, your deliciousness, and your convenience from the variety of options that Omaha Steaks has. Now, right now, during the semi-annual sale, you can get 50% off their exceptional handcrafted flavor and the convenience of Omaha Steaks. So what this means is 50% off the world's best everyday protein. You go to omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their semi-annual sale. And you want an extra $35 off? The promo code Bernstein is for you. Just my last name, Bernstein. It's Omaha Steaks. Every steak aged perfectly to maximize tenderness. Hand cut by master butchers in America's heartland. The choice of steakhouses and professional chefs, because it's grass-fed, grain-finished beef. More marbling for exceptional flavor. That's 50% off. That big box comes, and life is good in your world. 50% off at omahasteaks.com, and extra $35 off with a promo code Bernstein at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details.
All right, so if Indiana wants the Bears, here, how about if this would be a fair trade? Bears go to Indiana, we get some Waffle House restaurants.
The closest one is in Indiana, correct?
The closest one from my house is 195 miles away in Pendleton, Indiana. That's the closest.
Okay.
There's one in Avon, Indiana, also 195 miles. Daleville, Indianapolis, Anderson. Yeah, we need a Waffle House here in the northern suburbs.
No, we need one near me in like Roscoe Village, Wrigley.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like multiple. Like take multiple Waffle Houses in Indiana and bring them here. So you get one, I get one nearby.
I'll put money behind it.
I haven't Waffle House in
I'd invest
15 years.
I'd invest. If we could get one here, I would put my money where my mouth is.
It's the best.
Because I think it's a winner. I do. I would invest. I just don't think they want to come here. I think they might be too frightened.
Why? They're too violent here?
Yes, they're too.
Is that what it is?
I wanted to bring up this story too, and I've been waiting this a couple days here. I got such a kick out of this. Remember when I was complaining about the Pokemon
which time?
Commercial? I knew that was coming. I walked right into that.
Yes, you did.
Remember
when I was complaining? I do actually. I remember all of them.
I don't. When could that possibly have been?
All right, so you're complaining about Pokemon.
I was complaining about the commercial.
Because you're old, yes.
Because it's old, and like, what is this? I don't understand what's going on. So the whole Pokemon thing, what is it? Is it the Pokemon where you find the things that aren't really there and you hold up your phone and you stand and do odd things in public places? Or is it just the trading cards? Because the trading cards are huge. And that was top of mind when I read this story. Okay. So I'm just gonna read this per the AP copy, okay? This came to us from Washington, Florida.
Okay.
A man is accused of stealing trading cards worth thousands of dollars from Florida Target and Walmart stores in a scheme that involved taco seasoning packets, according to authorities.
Okay.
So you help walk me through this. Keith Wallace, 39, of Palm Beach, faces charges of felony organized retail theft, felony dealing in stolen property, and felony money laundering, according to the Office of Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer. Or is it Uthmeyer? Uthmeyer?
Yeah, let's go with Uth.
How about Uth? Maybe it's a schwa sound. Maybe it's Uthmeyer. Wallace would take large boxes of trading cards and an equal number of 99-cent taco seasoning packets to the self-checkout and would pay only for the seasoning packets.
Got it.
Uthmeyer's office said in a news release. Okay, now, what does that do that's different than just walking out?
Well, so if you're doing a self-checkout and you have a self-checkout, an employee there that monitors the self-checkouts, and I would imagine at this is Walmart, you said?
Walmart and Target.
Okay, Walmart and Target. And have you done a self-checkout at either Walmart or Target? So
both.
There are at least a minimum of a dozen to 15 of the self-checkout lanes.
Oh, at the Walmart up off of Tui, there's like 25.
Okay, so 25. And how many employees are there monitoring those 25 checkout lanes?
There's one person who's 90 years old, and there's another hired security person who's on his phone.
Okay, so generally when I go to Target or Walmart, there is one person. They're generally on the closer end of the grave scale or very, very young and not interested.
The grave scale.
Yeah. They're not paying attention. But in order to make it look less obvious that you're just walking out with something or get caught just walking out the door, I could see it. You take one of the packs of cards, you put it like on top of the packet of taco seasoning, you scan the taco seasoning, you throw both in the bag. Oh, this guy's checking out. So if someone who is half interested,
got it, because they're not looking at the price, they just see the beep.
They see that they're doing something, that there's a beep and putting something in a bag, and you could kind of hide that up, cover it up, and I mean, you could even sandwich.
That's interesting. So they're putting the taco seasoning barcode. I got it. I got it. Okay.
You could even sandwich like the pack of cards between two taco seasoning packets. And those are thin enough to in your hand. Maybe this guy's got really large hands and he just scan it and throws it in. And
you wouldn't need the second one.
You wouldn't need the second one, but even if someone is like looking over, they would just see taco. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So then the suspect is accused of selling the trading cards on eBay.
Okay.
Investigators made controlled purchases of the cards from eBay and confirmed the proceeds were deposited into Wallace's personal bank account, according to the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Wallace is accused of committing 75 thefts across Florida, spanning from Orlando to Miami, between July of 2025 and February of 2026. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office said about 39 of these thefts were at Target stores, and they resulted in retail losses of more than $10,000.
Wow.
Wallace got nearly $40,000 in revenue from the resale of the cards. So he had this down. He knew what he was looking for. I don't know if he's looking for 2 or 3 specific cards that carried all the freight for him, or he could move mass amounts of them, but he knew what he was looking for.
Or was he selling the packets themselves? He wasn't opening the packets and selling individual cards. He was just selling the packets because they're hard to find sometimes.
Okay. Maybe he was. He's also suspected of theft at Publix locations.
I like a Publix.
Yeah, they're good fried chicken. even though I think the ownership is troublesome. But that's not surprising. If he's found guilty on all charges, he faces up to how many years in prison? According to the Attorney General's office, how many years in prison do you think he's going to get for these 3 felony charges of stealing what I presume are Pokemon cards and reselling them?
Let's go with 16 years.
90.
90?
90.
Jesus.
By the letter of the law in Florida, he faces up to 90 years in prison.
You said he's 38, right?
Yeah, he would be 118.
Yeah, he's not going to have a good life when he comes out.
You slow up a lot. I think it'd probably.
You could still find love, though.
Probably still, pickleball is what I'd suggest at that point, probably.
Probably go back to one of those Walmarts and get a job.
Look at me, full circle. This is Uthmeyer, who says Florida has the #1 economy in the nation because of our commitment to law and order. I like the show, too. I especially like the one-liners from Jerry Orbach.
Yes.
Organized retail theft.
No one puts baby in a corner.
It drives up prices for consumers. And that is not a result we're going to tolerate. These schemes will be met with the maximum punishment allowed under the law.
Wow.
That man's going away for a long time. If in fact, you get the maximum punishment, this man will be in prison. Keith Wallace, he was 39. So he'll be 129 when he gets out. 129. Yes. That's right. That's
129.
You do slow up a lot. At
Might be too young to get a Walmart job.
Yeah, that's he's gonna be owed when he gets really, really old when he gets out. He might need some help.
I don't know. Maybe you can run for president and get those charges dropped.
I don't know. That would help him. He hasn't announced the possibility yet. I don't know, but good luck to him. 90 years for that, and I still don't know any of the Pokemons, so I don't know if it really helped me.
Wow, that's great,
isn't it?
He probably had to think about this and say,
oh, by the way, did you hear how I just said, isn't it? I just said, isn't it?
Isn't it? Where's that from?
I say it sometimes, and Beth hates it. Hates it. So now that's the only reason I heard myself say it was she says it reminds her of like the Cockney in it, but for whatever reason it's a pet peeve, so I have to say isn't it? And I should.
That's more annoying to me than isn't it?
Isn't it?
Like hearing you hit those T's really hard, that I would be like, what the fuck are you saying that for?
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's annoying.
I had to stop myself the other day because she's decided to make this something that I have to stop.
Does she smack you when you say it?
Maybe if I play my cards right.
You take that into the bedroom with you?
Maybe
isn't it, honey? Isn't it bedtime? Honey?
Maybe I'm playing the long game. give me a little bit of credit here.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.